Welcome to 97.7 FM, The City. I have a great interview today, and it's someone that's not here in Texas. I'm talking on with Gwendina Lee Gatewood. Um, Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Good evening, everybody out there in Texas. My name is Gwendina Lee Gatewood. I am here in Arizona. We are getting some fresh rain and should be snowing by now, but we're excited for the rain because we sure need it. So thank you for having me today.
Fantastic. Now, one of your titles is former chairwoman of the White Mountain Apache Tribe. And that's a great accomplishment. Congratulations! It's amazing. It's an honor for us to be able to meet a, a tribal chairwoman. We've never met one. I've never met one. So this is truly an honor for us here at 97.7 FM to have you on the phone. Tell me, what does that title involve?
Well, my title ended in 2022 after the election. I won in 2018. So in 2018, I ran for office, and you go through a primary and then a general election. The general is the top two vote getters going for the top seat, and I won, and I became the uh, tribal chairwoman, first ever female elected to the House. Very challenging, but I was an executive assistant to a tribal chairman who was tribal chairman for over 50 years, 50. And when he wasn't a chairman, he was on the tribal council. I served as his executive assistant for 12 years. And then when it came time for him to retire, he brought me in, and I seriously thought he was just going to tell me who to support. I want you to support so and so in the upcoming election. And I really thought it was about that. But he sat me down and talked to me for about 3 hours. And at the end of 3 hours, he asked me to run and to seriously consider it. So.
Fantastic. Now, I apologize. There's a slight delay on our end, so please bear with us. Now, tell me about your current title. You are the co-chair of the Indigenous Women's Leadership Network.
Yes, I was nominated to serve on the Indigenous role there for the Indigenous Women's Leadership Network. It's a brand new organization, fairly new, started in 2021, and it involves leaders from the Colorado River Basin for that area. And I was nominated for my former role as a tribal chairwoman. And then we're based in Arizona, and all the tribes here in Arizona, and all tribes everywhere, of course, they advocate highly for water rights. And what that organization does is it focuses on the role of the Indigenous woman and her leadership role, not only in the home, not only in the office, but all around. It encompasses everything. And it focuses on the issues surrounding water and the importance of water. And to Indigenous people, water is the giver of life. And we focus a lot on how water impacts our Indigenous communities. And it's very unfortunate that everywhere in the United States, you would think you would have access to clean water, but that's not always the case in some Indigenous communities. So we're raising awareness on that. I serve alongside two other extraordinary women leaders. Very honored to serve alongside them.
Now, let me backtrack a little bit and please tell me about.
To Indigenous people, water is the giver of life. And
And I'm sorry if I interrupt
we
there.
focus a
We're
lot
on a delay.
That's fine.
But my next question is going to be tell me a little bit about the White Mountain Apache Tribe.
Everywhere in the United States, you would think you would have access to clean water, but that's not always the case. Some Do we wait for the delay to be done? I serve alongside two other extraordinary
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I apologize. Now, let me backtrack a little bit and typically tell me a little bit about the White Mountain Apache tribe. A lot of our viewers are not familiar with your tribe.
Okay, we're located in Arizona, southeast Arizona. We are about 3.5 hours northeast of Phoenix, and we have a four seasons. The lowest elevation of our reservation is probably 2,600 feet, and you get all the way up to 11,400 feet at our Mount Baldy. That's the headwaters of where our waters, trickle down into the Salt River that flows down to the greater Phoenix metropolitan area. And we have 1.6 million acres of land. We have about 17,000 enrolled tribal members. I would believe that by now, if you count, don't count the non-enrolled descendants or those that don't meet the blood quantum requirements, we're probably at about, I would say, 25,000 if you counted everybody. And we have a ski resort here. We have a trophy elk hunting that was just done in September. Tribal members are now hunting elk, and we enjoy fishing. We enjoy hiking trails, bike trails, all different kinds of activities. And then the summertime is when a lot of our ceremonies happen, the traditional sunrise dance ceremonies. And, we live here in rural Arizona, and we enjoy the blessings of the land that we call home.
Thank you for bearing with us with the delay that we're getting here. Go ahead and turn on the monitor. My apologies.
No
It's the
problem.
first time that we use Restream for this type of interview, and so there's a couple of bugs that we have to work out. But it sounds beautiful. It sounds like we need to visit,
Yeah.
and I hope to do so soon. Now I know that when we were having a conversation off camera earlier, there were some issues that are affecting your community, your tribe. Um, Care to share some of those issues with us?
Yes, it's not only our tribe, but a lot of the Arizona Indian tribes, even some in Montana. I understand it's expanding out, and what's happening is a lot of tribal members, not only here but throughout Arizona and other states, if you will, are being sent to sober living homes. And those homes are meant in reality to rehabilitate a person that's addicted to drugs and alcohol. It's a place for them to heal. But instead of that happening, what's happening is these unlicensed facilities take in these tribal members, and it's in metropolitan, the greater Phoenix area. They take them in, and family in rural Arizona lose contact with them. They don't know where they are, and it causes some tension. And people are like, where's so and so? We haven't seen them. And then you start seeing these missing persons Facebook posts or other flyers around town. And we just recently had a women's conference here at our Honda Resort and Casino Conference Center, put on by our Division of Health Programs. They did an excellent job, by the way, and my compliments to them. They brought in an organization from Phoenix, and they focused on raising awareness on stolen benefits. And what these facilities are doing is enrolling these tribal members to get this rehabilitative help. And the state pays these facilities for housing the Native Americans in their sober living homes. Now, this is where it gets bad. What's happening in there is they're just providing them alcohol, they're providing them drugs so that they can stay addicted, and then they reap the benefits because they're getting paid for these tribal members to stay there. And instead of getting better, the tribal members are being mistreated. We've heard incidents of them not being fed properly, hygiene issues. It got so big that the governor of Arizona stopped those benefits and really came down really hard on those facilities. And they started denying payments to unlicensed facilities. And it was on the news. Justin Lum, a reporter from Fox 10, did a thorough investigation. And we started seeing firsthand the effects of what this is doing to our people. And unfortunately, some have passed away while in these sober living homes. And we heard personal testimony from a tribal female who said her brother had died in a facility. They never contacted the family. They just cremated him and buried him somewhere in a crematory grave in Phoenix. And they found him there, and they were just shocked. They were like, oh my gosh. And it took them quite a while to get his ashes back. And to hear that personal testimony and to hear that heartache that they didn't have any contact with their family member all along. And this is what's been happening. And actually tomorrow is a walk to raise awareness of displacement of homeless relatives from these fraudulent sober living homes. And November 17 from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's at Steele Indian Park at 300 East Indian School Road in Phoenix, Arizona, 85012. Marching from Indian School Road at the end of the parking lot to 3rd Street and Indian School Road. And this is in part to Native American Heritage Month. And it's important to raise awareness about these unregulated sober living homes that are doing more damage than good to tribal members everywhere, not just our tribe, but other tribes. There's 22 tribes here in Arizona, and they were starting to recruit even tribal members from Montana, Wyoming, different areas of the United States. And it really just focused on the fact that they were attacking these vulnerable individuals for their own financial benefit. And that was, it's horrific. It's maddening, and it shouldn't be happening because these people are our relatives and they are family. And when you think of family, you think of a group that stays together through thick and thin, that help each other. And when you lose connection to one and not knowing where they are, it's a cause for concern. And it's a terrible thing that's happening. But the more awareness that's being put out there, the more that we can move forward in this. And the group that's spearheading this is the Turtle Island Warriors, a group of 4 ladies. It's just 4 women, Riva, Jerry, Raquel, and Jared. And my hat's off to them. They came and gave testimony at the women's conference. And it's already been made an investigative report on our major news channel here in Arizona. So it's causing great concern.
It's unfortunate that in this day and age, this is happening in Arizona or here in America. Please share that address again for the folks who are in the area who might want to participate.
Sure. It's going to be at Steele Indian Park at 300 East Indian School Road, Phoenix, Arizona, 85012. And if you want more information, I have a phone number if you would like for me to read that off. Okay. Riva, she can be reached at 602-473-3759, or Jerry at 520-236-0743. And this walk is very important to raise awareness of these unregulated sober living homes. And if we can get folks from Phoenix, those of you listening there that have relatives in Phoenix or the greater metropolitan Phoenix area, or even in Arizona, let them know. Let them know to go and do a walk and raise awareness. It'll start at 10 a.m. and it'll end at 2. And that is tomorrow.
Now, the address again to the website is wmat.us. That's
Yes.
wmat.us. Is there anything else you want to share? I know that this week we could go and speak for weeks on this topic, and I'd like to learn more about it. But is there any other information you'd like to share with our viewers as we wrap up?
Thank you for your time. The more that we raise awareness on issues affecting people, and especially when it comes to unregulated activities, that will help put a stop to it, and to be active voices, and to know that Native American tribes here in the United States, some may think just because they have casinos that they're rolling in a lot of money. That's not the case. There's things that regulate those casinos, and there's gaming compacts that regulate those casinos. And especially when it's a rural community, those kinds of things, economy is so important for Indian tribes. So is education. And for our young people out there, for me, it's so important to teach our children about history, to teach our children when they're young and throughout their life to be good citizens, to have that human connection, and to be able to communicate and learn about other cultures, to be educated, and to know that they have a seat at the table as Indigenous children. And children are our closest relatives ever. I had the honor to meet your son earlier before the show began, and he's going to be, moving forward with your legacy, your family's history, and you're investing everything in your son or daughter, and so that when they are adults, you're equipping them with things that will help them to succeed. And it's so important if all of us can just continue to do that, encourage education and listen. And in this day and age, especially after COVID, mental health is so important. And to let people know that it's okay to talk about these things. It's okay to talk about what's troubling you, because that's your body telling you that you need to overcome a challenge. And spiritually, physically, mentally, all of those things, we have to stay in balance, especially as Indigenous people and people everywhere, really. And with Native American Heritage Month being in November, take some time and choose a tribe and learn about that tribe. And you have our website for our White Mountain Apache tribe, wmat.us. Go there. You can read about the tribe. There's different things there that you can learn about the ski resort that we have here. A lot of times when we tell people it snows here, they're like, in Arizona? And you're like, yeah, it snows here. And it's hard for them to believe. But the more that you become educated about another culture, another community, the more things are in balance and things will get better. And I like to promote our small businesses here on our reservation. They work so hard day and night to put food on the table for their families. And we have one such business here in McNairy, So Sweet. They are on Facebook. They sell a wide variety of items, fabric, jewelry, those kinds of things, arts and crafts. And it's SEW Sweet, So Sweet. They were excited to hear that I was going to be a guest on your show today. And I told them that I'd give them a little shout out, because they are one of the mom and pop organizations that you you remember from long ago, and they're still moving it forward. So, in this day and age, if we can just continue to get along, agree to disagree, have diplomatic disagreements, but move forward and learn from one another, I think we're going to be okay. But also, so important is that we keep our faith and prayers at the forefront. That we look to the Creator in everything that we do, and as long as we do that with the faith that we are anchored in as Indigenous people, and all walks of life, of course, too, that the Creator will carry us through, and things will be a lot better in the long run. We have to have that faith, and we have to put that into our children, and so that they can be strong, so that they can be, capable, because this world is changing so quickly. But if they are spiritually strong and anchored in what we've been taught by our grandmas and grandpas and our moms and dads, that continuum of that strength will help them through. And I want to encourage all of you to, as we come upon Thanksgiving, think about everything that you've been blessed with. You've been blessed with a family. You've been blessed with being woken every day by our Creator. You're blessed with beautiful things in our lives, and we take time for gratitude for family, because family is really symbolic of the American spirit. Family, and nowhere else, well, you find your family other than your relatives, your immediate family, and that those are those people that will help you through. But you extend that to your friends, you extend that to your community, you have a greater family and you have a greater blessing. So this Thanksgiving, in your homes, may you find peace, may you find happiness, may you find love, may you remember everything that you've been blessed with, and move forward with a greater vigor and inspiration, and know that you are an important part of this thing that we call life. And thank you so much.
This was an excellent interview, and I hate to wrap it up. And I extend the invitation in our studios again for another interview, so we can continue to
Yeah.
discuss and talk about this very interesting topic, and this very interesting tribe. So thank you very much for making the time out of your busy schedule to chat with us, to chat with our audience, to have the. I'm glad that the folks down here, our audience, has had the opportunity to learn a little more about you, about your tribe. And so I hope to continue having these chats, these conversations with you, and I hope to someday be able to come up and visit you up in Arizona. And
Yes.
once again, thank you for making the time.
Thank you. I enjoyed it. And thank you so much for allowing me to be a guest, and look forward to our next interview. So thank you.
Now, we want to thank you, the viewers and the listeners of 97.7 FM, for catching this interview. And keep listening and keep watching 97.7 FM, The City. Keep listening and keep watching.